and welcome to another edition of A Successful Transition from Monogamy to Open. And we're continuing on our series on the top 10 mistakes to avoid in open relationships. We've done the first 4. Today we're going to go over 5 and 6. So let's review the ones we've already gone over briefly, just to kind of keep you on track and remembering what we've talked about. Number 1 is in the excitement of new partners. Make sure you're not neglecting your primary relationship. Number 2 is make sure that everyone agrees how to handle texts, emails from other partners. You know, how much transparency do you need? Talking about that beforehand so you don't end up with a lot of problems from people feeling that things are getting discussed behind their back. Number 3 is pushing partners to take one for the team. Number 4 is to talk about what each of you is comfortable doing with others before you're actually in that situation. Okay, and number 5 is trying to get your partner to replicate something that you really liked that you did with a recent play partner. The problem with this is that even if this is something that your partner may like to do, and oftentimes your play partner may want to do things that your primary partner doesn't want to do. That's not their thing. And so trying to replicate things from that standpoint can certainly be a problem, because now you're trying to push them to do something they don't really want to do. But even if it is something they might be willing to do, the mistake people often make is that now they expect it to be the same way it was with the first person. And no matter how much you love and care about and are attracted to various partners, their chemistry is different. The interaction you have with them is different. And so no matter how great it might be with your primary partner, the things you do with your other partners are not going to be exactly the same, no matter how hard you try. And if you start trying to really push to get them to replicate something, now you get into that comparison area, which can be very dangerous when you're trying to compare, so-and-so did something this way, how come you can't do it that way? That is going to cause huge problems in your primary relationship. And also going forward, if you're expecting your play partners to replicate something your primary partner does, you need to appreciate each of your partners for their uniqueness and not expect them to be the same. And number 6 is always go at the slowest person's pace. There often can be the mistake of attempting to push the pace in the moment, and that is usually going to backfire. Oftentimes one person is a little bit more excited about opening things up at the beginning than the other is. The other might be a little bit more anxious, a little bit more afraid, concerned about, what's going to happen? And they need a little bit more time to get into this whole process. And the one who's excited wants to keep going and wants to get to more and more things, and they have this tendency often to push. And the more you push the person at the slower pace, the worse it's going to be. Because people don't like to be pushed. And if you're pushing them to be prepared for things they're not prepared for, it is probably going to backfire on you, and not in a good way. So be patient. Give your partner the time to get used to this. Go at their pace. Remember, there's going to be more time. There's going to be more time to experience all these exciting, wonderful things that you want to experience. So give them that time to experience that, and really be respectful of the pace that they're at. It will benefit you in the long run, even if you're wanting to hurry things up and get on to more what you think are exciting things. The more you can respect your partner's pace, the better it's going to be for everyone involved. So that's all for today. Tomorrow, because of the holidays week, we're going to do 7 and 8, and then on Friday we will finish up with numbers 9 and 10 of the top 10 mistakes to avoid. If you haven't already joined the private Facebook group, A Successful Transition from Monogamy to Open, please go ahead and do so. Recommend it to your friends if you know people who you think could benefit from it. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.